I'm embarrassed. 2 big mistakes today. 2 big mistakes. So everyone was super into that, and Shan and I had been talking about like, hey, how could we kind of show off? We want to have some more guests on now that we've got our sea legs. So I want to talk about that. Talk about fatalities. So let's just talk from start to finish.
Okay.
How does a fatality get made?
It starts with a meeting, and it involves these 2 guys, usually, regularly. We all get in a room. We jibber jab about what
you do what? Excuse me.
We jibber jab.
Got you.
That's a technical term.
Got you. It's a gaming term.
Yeah. You probably don't understand it.
Jibber
jab. I don't teach that in college.
Jibber jab.
So we talk about what we want to do, what would be cool based on like characters and their personality, and then we get some boards made, which Tony Gotsky does some.
We should add, it's the great thing is we have some to show.
What?
So we're going to walk you through real quickly. There's about
Such a surprise.
Such a surprise.
You didn't know? You didn't give these to me?
You didn't know about the trailer? You didn't know we had these
I didn't send those to you at all.
So we're going to walk through quickly the Tony Gotsky who's been here since Mortal Kombat
Mortal Kombat 2. He is a true legend.
Yeah, OG. So we're going to show this. So of course the start.
This is the start. We kind of wanted to maintain the pose from the original one that we're making an homage to.
A real low bend.
A real low.
Getting in.
Then of course the first punch. As you see, the storyboards are pretty basic. We didn't flesh everything in quite yet.
Yeah, these aren't for like beauty. They're to show people who are making them what it's supposed to do.
But
it's the basics.
When we're iterating on ideas, it's super cool to see. This is the second level of first someone's just talking about it, and then Tony kind of gives us you're starting to visualize how to look before it gets to the cinematic aspect.
And just like any brainstorming session, like somebody will throw something out, and that idea gets better, and that idea gets better, and that idea gets better. So like to say that like, this is all me just doesn't exist.
There is almost no fatality that I've ever seen where one person just has an idea and it gets in the game. It's usually, well, this character's never done this before. Wouldn't it be neat if? And then someone says, and they could do it this way, and then someone says it'd be even better this way, and then like one idea will mutate into drastically different ideas.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
We got the next screen. This is the third part.
This is the third one. This is kind of where the blooper reel bit starts to ramp up. So cuts yelled from off screen, and then we go to, the typical director cinema
clappable
things.
Yep.
The slate.
The slate.
Oh.
The slate.
There we go. There we go, Burke.
Yeah, and then it just goes on from there, and then reset to the punch. So it looks very similar, but the jaw is gone. Then we concept the head's flopping back, if you could tell by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
In case you don't know, head flops back.
Head flops back. Head flops forward. Cut. Johnny's not too happy about it.
I always love how the victim is always just kind of happy looking.
Right. He's got those big eyes.
Yeah.
He's not mad.
No, he's not. He's fine. Cut again. Then reset to like the final finisher shot.
Johnny's even in his storyboard still wearing sunglasses.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're not cool unless you have sunglasses.
Truth.
And then the end frame.
With the middle finger.
With the middle finger.
And random bald buggy-eyed character.
And this fatality is a great example of the iteration of an idea where the initial idea was, let's do a tribute to the triple head glitch from MK1, and then it was at MK2.
Right.
Then it was, maybe the heads will keep falling back.
Right.
Then someone's like, what if if we're going to break the fourth wall, let's own it.
Right.
And then what if we had the slate, and then it just keeps going and going until it just becomes the absurdity that was the final thing.
If you're Mortal Kombat and you're going to break the fourth wall, you destroy the fourth wall.
Yeah.
You just,
Yes.
let it
You
rip.
throw a head at it.
Yes, and break the fourth wall.
And Johnny Cage is a character where you can do that, where it's pretty much all off limits.
Yeah. We get to have a lot of fun with him because he's so silly and crazy, and he's not serious at all like a lot of the other characters. So
He's our comic relief.
He's the comic relief. But I like to think we don't overplay it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. So then after that's done, then we start. What's next?
Then we go to mocap. We go into the shoot. We kind of advise the mocap actors what we want, what we're looking for, and then we take and send those over to the animators. The animators clean up the mocap, and then they send it to me to kind of do the camera editing and cinematography of it.
Okay. Yeah. Do we want to show the next thing?
Yeah,
now?
and then we go to a like a first rough draft. I think this one's actually been edit locked, but it iterates on the way. The temp audio is actually me and Steven from the audio department.
Steven Shatner?
Yep.
My boy.
Yep.
Cut. Reset.
Johnny's fatality. Take 2.
Cut.
Take 11.
Everyone take 5.
Tongue is awesome.
The tongue is amazing.
Yeah.
So then that's the next step.
That's the next step.
And then we're finished.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's done. That's
You
how
just
it
press
looks
the
like.
finish button,
Yeah.
and it's done.
Yeah, that's it. No, then I take it into our Unreal tool, which we set up everything on, and then I set it up, send it to Effects. Effects gets their ball rolling, lighting, audio, all have their hands in it, and then it goes to QA, so it goes to Steve.
And that goes to a jobber like me spending all day doing one fatality in every corner against every victim on every skin in every part of the stage over and over and over again because, for example, you rip their head off and Johnny Cage's sunglasses are still floating there. Or you rip their torso off and Kano's knives are still sitting there.
Right.
And then that goes back to you guys who
Yep.
then fix those, and then we do that for a while.
So from start to finish, like, you obviously were working on a bunch of them at the same time.
Yes.
So any sort of timeline there?
It's about between 6 and 9 months, depending on the fatality and complexity.
And some things you'll get paused for another one to work. We got this done now. Let's move to this. That
Yeah,
sort of thing.
it's like an assembly line. We just I take it, I move it along. I take it, I move it along.
Right.
Yeah.
Then everyone, and again, just like everything in the studio, everyone sort of touches it at some point.
Yeah, it's actually kind of great. It's like a big collaborative project.
Yeah, one of the coolest things about this process for the cinematics and fatalities and crushing blows and everything is seeing the initial idea and you're hype. I can't wait to see it. Then you see the storyboard, and it's even cooler. Then you see, I will literally check on those early animations almost every week to see what's going on, and it's getting there. And then audio makes such a huge difference.
Yeah.
The groaning, the blood, all that stuff, and the cinematography of it. You could just, if you just say someone gets their head cut off, it's like, well, I've seen that for 30 years, but the cinematography of it makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
and
it's definitely evolved from
Oh, yeah.
day one to now. Like we really study and try and focus on enhancing our cinematic abilities.
And I mean, the dismemberment tech, the different special effects for particles, for scorpions, the fire, the blood looks
so good.
amazing. It is literally like 5 different types of groups of artists, and then it all comes together at the end and looks amazing.
Yeah.
Let's show. We got one more thing to show about the facial, like being animated.
Oh, yeah.
And we kind of do a thing about that.
Yeah, so after I get in the tool, Facial's another team that takes care of it. Andy Sinisek and Alex Bittner head fronting that. And they do a great job, and it's really actually funny to see in this clip you're going to see because it doesn't move. The body doesn't move, it's just the face.
Let's take a look at that clip.
Who hired this guy? What the fuck?
You know, I forgot, even UI plays a huge role.
Oh,
The timing of finish him, when fatality comes up, they're not even involved in the cinematic aspect of it. They do their stuff before and after it's done, and it still has a huge role.
That timing actually has a lot to do with how they feel as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, and that was, you said, was hand keyed, because sometimes we use.
Yeah, we do facial scans. For Story we did it, and we do it for a lot of line reads for intros. But sometimes, with Johnny and stuff, we didn't facial capture it, so it's actually all hand keyed, which is way more difficult.
Amazing.
It looks really good.
Looks so
it's
good.
funny seeing the body not move, and that's not going to look right. And then you see it on the actual body, you're like, oh, that looks perfect. Of course it does.
Yeah.
Just because this stuff puts your mind in a weird space about
It's like
it.
those attached cameras, blaring
Yeah, exactly.
style, and
So a couple questions just before we close on the fatalities. Anatomy.
Yes.
What kind of background do people have in that? How much does that come into play because obviously we're not just seeing the outside of the body in a lot of these.
Yeah. A part of being an artist, in general, you usually do anatomy classes, or for drawing classes, life drawing. I remember even basic stuff I had to learn, like how many bones and what the bones were named.
Right.
So our character artists and stuff also are very well knowledgeable on how the body works and body parts and where spleens and gallbladders and stuff are.
They have models that they use too.
They have big. They might have actually sculpted them themselves. I don't know. They're really big. They're made out of plastiline, and they're just like torn open. You see guts and stuff. It's great.
It's great.
I love when you walk down the hall and everyone's desk is like that stuff, and then like random toys, and then stuff from their children, and like, it's a weird.
It's a good mixture.
Yeah.
What do you think the most important thing about a fatality?
For me, it's the wow factor. The moment where people are like, "Oh no!" You know, that's really what we want to.
Like that.
We really want to squeeze out people.
The emotional pop, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like if it's either gross or funny, like some of them are. Just that initial pop is really good.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a question for everybody in the room.
Whew.
I want a favorite fatality that we've seen so far. So think back, and favorite fatality of all time.
All right. So far, it's got to be Cassie, the heart.
Okay.
It makes me smile every single time. It's so cute.
All right.
All time, can I do a top 3?
She has.
No, just
I want to
one.
do a top 3.
You don't get to do a top 3.
I want to do a top 3.
Steve won't stop until he does.
But he might take it. Oh, fine. He already took the one I was going to say.
All right.
You can have the same
Sector's
one.
Compactor from MK3.
Okay.
Kung Lao's from Deadly Alliance.
Okay.
Devora's where the bugs eat your head and she stomps on the skull from MKX.
All right. Shanna?
Mine from this game is the Johnny one, because I got to have a lot of fun with it and shoot in a different kind of style than we normally do. I'd say all time, I really like the Kung Lao one with the bunny. What did you say it was from?
Shaolin Monks.
Shaolin Monks, where he hits you with a bunny.
Eric?
I, too, was going to say the Cassie one, where she puts in this little heart. I think that's awesome. It's adorable. It's her personality. My favorite of all time was Shang Tsung turning into Kentaro. Like, I loved that. Because, like, the requirements you had to do to make that happen.
The requirement was fun.
And then, like, it was... I loved it. Just douche, boom.
That has great audio. The scream is incredible.
Oh, yeah. And then the one blood drop. Bloop.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Burke.
It's me. I guess I'll turn my camera on and take my headphones off.
Sure.
My favorite one from this game is also the triple head one. I like all the props in it are really cool. I like the clapper. What did I call it? A slate?
Slate
the
clapper.
boom mic that comes in is really cool. I don't know if it's my favorite all time, but the one that grosses me out the most is MK9 Make-A-Wish new Cybot, where they each grab a side of your leg. That's gross. Gross.
For me, I don't want to break the rules, but I want to break the rules a little bit. It's Kano's second fatality. I'm not going to talk about it, what it is.
Wow.
You said we could...
Wow.
I broke the rules.
Well, I'm going to break my rules. It's your rules, too.
Don't do it.
What? You already did.
But you might say a character we haven't talked about yet.
Oh, no, I won't.
Okay.
Oh, God. I'm so scared.
Make sure I don't do this wrong.
I'm so scared.
Yeah, so Johnny Cage's second one is great.
Okay.
I was about. Can we tease that it might be as funny as the first? It's real good.
We're not supposed to talk about it.
And my of all time, it's just, maybe not be of all time, but the one that I used the most was, and this is very weird. It isn't super elaborate. MKX Kano just throwing 2 knives at you. I loved it because I like the ones that are elaborate, but I also like the ones that are just like that's over.
Yep.
And just like impactful because it was kind of brutal because it was just like throat, head.
And
we're
you
done.
fall into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. My favorite MK9 is actually Stryker just literally shooting you in the head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Real quick before we go with Shanna, technology is a big part of what we do. Obviously, every game we do, there's new ways to make things look better, work better. Is technology with this game, this iteration, what has it done for us?
It has allowed us to achieve like way better graphics, way better effects, way better cinematic quality. I feel like a lot of stuff, even in story, like we got to enhance everything, and it's up to like blockbuster level.